Welcome to the Google Cloud Update for the week of the 21st of January, 2026. I'm your host, and we've got a packed episode for you today. It seems Google has been busy expanding its global footprint, so we'll kick things off by talking about the brand new Bangkok region and the flood of services now available there. Then, we'll dive into the world of AI with a powerful new model in Vertex AI's Model Garden. We also have a critical, and I mean, critical, breaking change for anyone using BigQuery and Dataform that you absolutely need to know about. And, of course, we have our usual roundup of updates for Kubernetes Engine, including a known issue you'll want to watch out for, plus new features for storage, networking, security, and a whole lot more. Let's get to it. Let's start with the big geographical news. A brand new Google Cloud region is now online in Bangkok, Thailand, with the region code Asia Southeast 3. And with a new region comes a wave of service availability. If you're operating in Southeast Asia, this is fantastic news for latency and data residency. So what's available? Well, a lot. On the compute and container front, Google Kubernetes Engine and Cloud Run are ready to go. For networking, you'll find support for auto mode VPC networks with a new subnet, plus dedicated Cloud Interconnect and Cloud VPN. The data services are not left out. You can now spin up Alloy VB, Bigtable, Spanner, Cloud SQL, and file store instances. Dataflow and PubSub are also available for your data processing and messaging needs. And to secure and manage all of this, Cloud KMS, Secret Manager, and Sensitive Data Protection are all supported in the new Bangkok region. Finally, for your DevOps and observability stack, Artifact Registry and Cloud Logging have also landed in Asia Southeast 3. It's great to see such broad service support right out of the gate for a new region. Now, let's switch gears to artificial intelligence. Over in Vertex AI, the GLM 4.7 model is now generally available in the Model Garden. This model is specifically designed for complex tasks like core coding, tool use, and advanced reasoning. It's available as a managed API, making it easier to integrate into your applications. And for those of you living in the terminal, there's a new preview feature in Vertex AI Workbench. The Gemini CLI is now available in Workbench instances. This is an open-source AI agent that lets you interact with Gemini directly from your command line. You can use it to create and run notebooks, explain code, and even interact with the local file system and other Google Cloud services. It sounds like a powerful assistant for developers. All right, let's talk about data and analytics, and I need everyone using Dataform or BigQuery to listen up. There is a breaking change. Dataform workflows, BigQuery notebooks, pipelines, and data preparations are now enforcing strict act-as mode at the project level. This means you must switch from using the default Dataform service agent to using custom service accounts for your repositories. You also need to grant the service account user role to the default Dataform service agent and other relevant principals. If you don't make this change, your automatic releases could fail. Please check the release notes for a link to the documentation on how to verify and update your permissions. Don't get caught up by this one. On a lighter note, BigQuery has some cool new features. You can now use Gemini Cloud Assist to get insights into your job history. You can ask it why a query was slow or which queries were the most resource intensive, which is a fantastic use case for general AI. Also, when using the AI.if, AI.score, and AI.classify functions, you can now run those queries using your end-user credentials instead of a BigQuery connection, simplifying the authentication flow. Moving over to our database services, AlloyDB now supports the Z3 machine series, which are powered by 4th-gen Intel processors and titanium SSDs. These instances go up to 88 vCPU and 704 gigabytes of RAM, perfect for storage-intensive workloads. However, there is a known issue. If you're using managed connection pooling with the AlloyDB auth proxy, automatic IAM authentication is unavailable. You'll need to use manual IAM authentication as a workaround for now. And to round out our data segment, the BigQuery connector for SAP version 2.12 is now generally available, bringing file-based replication to cloud storage and other enhancements. And for Cloud SQL for MySQL users, version 8.0.43 is now the new default minor version. If you have automatic upgrades enabled, your instances will be upgraded during their next maintenance window. Now for our regular check-in on Google Kubernetes Engine. As usual, new GKE versions are rolling out across the rapid, regular, stable, and extended channels. Notably, in the rapid channel, Kubernetes version 1.35 is now the default for new clusters. This release also includes security updates, with new GKE versions using updated container-optimized OS images that incorporate the latest security fixes. But there is an important issue to be aware of. In some GKE versions earlier than 1.34, if you're using the Cloud Storage FUSE CSI driver with streaming writes enabled, your file writes might fail with an input-output error. Streaming writes are enabled by default in recent versions, so this might affect you. The recommended fix is to upgrade your cluster. If you can't upgrade, you can disable streaming writes as a workaround. Check the release notes for the specific flags and versions. And a quick update for Service Mesh, new versions are now available for in-cluster cloud Service Mesh, including 1.28.2 and 1.27.5. Let's move on to storage, networking, and security. First up, Artifact Registry has a great new feature in public preview. It now calculates fingerprints for each version of a package you push. You can use this fingerprint to validate that a package hasn't been modified as it moves between systems, like from Cloud Build to Compute Engine, adding a nice layer of supply chain security. In cloud storage, bucket relocation now supports completed multi-part uploads, which should make relocation smoother. And for batch operations, there's a new dry run mode in preview, allowing you to simulate and validate your job configuration before you hit the big red button. For you networking pros, load balancing has a couple of useful previews. Backend buckets are now available for regional, external, and internal application load balancers. This is perfect for serving static content from cloud storage while keeping it confined to a specific region for compliance. Additionally, managed workload identity is now available for backend mutual TLS in global external application load balancers, which automates certificate management and rotation. In the observability space, your application monitoring dashboards and cloud monitoring will now display the trace spans associated with your registered App Hub applications. This gives you a much richer view, letting you identify services and workloads right from the dashboard. Over in Chronicle, you can now perform searches over your full retention period by selecting all time in the time picker. And there's a huge list of new parser documentation for ingesting logs from sources like Azure, Cloudflare, Fortinet, and many more. Finally, a quick flyby of some other important updates. Backup and DR service now has generally available cost reports for more granular billing insights. Cloud DNS Armor's advanced threat detection for internet-bound queries is now GA. And as always, there are a number of IAM changes. New backup and DR operator roles for AlloyDB, Cloud SQL, and disks are now GA. The Vertex AI and Apogee Service Agent roles have received new permissions, and there are many other small additions and promotions to GA across services like App Hub and Secure Source Manager. And that's a wrap for this week's Google Cloud Update. From the massive expansion into the new Bangkok region to the critical breaking change in BigQuery and Dataform, there's a lot to digest. We also saw a powerful new AI model in Vertex AI and some important updates for GKE users. All links to the release notes and documentation are available in the show description. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week for another dose of Google Cloud news.